and the girl who loves the sea. It calls me.
Greetings everyone. Today I would like to talk about being caught up in other people's karma. Okay, you see yourself in a situation that you're being entangled in other people's karma, being entangled in other people's problems and quite a lot of things, because remember one thing, that sometimes being too helpful to others can bring some baggages as well to yourself. You get entangled to other people's problems, you get entangled to other people's karmas. So today I just want to talk about that. And also in talking about this, I want you to understand karma. I want you to understand entanglement and how do you recognize entanglement in your life, and also strategies of detangling yourself from such situations, okay? And maintaining energetic boundaries for yourself, because most of us, we get entangled in other people's karma. So that is why most of the time when a person is going through their own karma, don't interfere with the karma, because some of them go through that process and it's fate. It is the universe that is making them to go. It's something that was made for them to go through that situation because they need to learn something from that. Either way, it can be a situation that they are undergoing because of some punishment that that person has done, and they have to go through this in order, to learn from that. So sometimes you should not interfere with that process. You should not interfere with fate, because if you do, you get entangled in those in that situation, whereas you end up now being the one who has all the baggage in your shoulders and in your life, and it starts to affect you in many ways. So with this teaching, I just want to teach you how do you identify that and how do you release yourself from all of that, especially as a water child. Yes, it also resonates with people who are not spiritually gifted, because sometimes if you are a giving person, you're too giving, you forever giving assistance and everything. And sometimes you don't understand why is it that you're not getting any light in your life. It's because you most of the time get tangled in other people's karma, get tangled in other people's problems. So this video is mostly for water kids, water children, in particular in Inzuza people, Umlozi Wamanzi, Mndawu. Okay, this is mostly for you because you are a person who's an energetic person. So there's a lot of things that you get entangled in, unaware that you are. Then you start not to see growth. You start to see a downfall in your life. So this is the teaching that I will be giving you, as to just to give you light, and then I hope it will really help a lot of people, because most people are going through this process. I felt that it's important for me to do this teaching because quite a lot of my clients and patients are going through this process, and yeah, it's not an easy thing, because sometimes it's not that you are going through some issues and problems in your life just because your ancestors are not happy, just because your spirit is not happy, but merely because you involved yourself in a situation that you did not have to involve yourself in the first place. Sometimes we can love, but sometimes you have to love from a distance, because you will get entangled to other people's karmas, and it will be quite difficult for you to release yourself from that. So most of us get entangled through relationships, from your partner, through siblings, friendship. There's quite a lot of ways on how do you get tangled in other people's karma. So I hope this video will assist you in understanding and having a way forward in actually resolving any issues, any energetic issues that you might have, and be able to detangle yourself. Okay, now let's go into defining karma and entanglement in the context of spiritually gifted individuals, okay, particularly water children, abantwana bamanzi, okay. Karma refers to the universal principle of cause and effect, where every action, thought, and intention has a corresponding consequences. Okay, remember that what you do unto others, it may be done unto you 10 times or even 1,000 more. Okay, so it's actually a process where a person is going through that. You need to learn that whatever consequences that whatever actions, whatever thoughts, because sometimes there are people who will not do anything physically, but they can curse you with their thoughts, with a lot, and it can also manifest in your life. So when karma hits, they have to revisit what is it that they have done. Okay, so for spiritually gifted individuals, particularly water children, karma can manifest in unique ways due to their your highest sensitivity to energy and spiritual forces. Okay, so that is why you get to be more entangled in karma, other people's karma, because of that. You're sensitive to energy and spiritual forces. Okay, so when we're saying as a water child, your karma may be influenced by the connection to your water spirits and serpent energies. Okay, this connection can amplify your emotions and your intuition abilities, making you more prone to karmic entanglement. Because remember, as a spiritual magnet, you are bound to attract whatever. So it comes to a point that you can also attract negative things as well. Okay, so that is why it's important that when someone is going through something, phahla and seek clarity from your spirits. Do you have to intervene? Do you have to give assistance to these people, or can you give assistance from a distance? Because remember, there are people you will constantly tell, no, don't do this because this will end in a bad way. Don't do this because this will, won't give you the results that you seek. And the person will frequently, go on the wrong direction, go on the right direction, wrong direction. You constantly telling them that don't do this because it's not going to help you. Instead, it's just going to destroy you. So, there are people who won't listen to you. They'll be like, nah, okay, no, it's fine. But they continue in walking in the wrong path. Okay, so sometimes you just have to step back and let them deal with their own karma. Let them deal with whatever that they need to learn, because sometimes people don't just learn when they don't go through a situation. Okay, so sometimes it's very important to step away from fate, because whatever that they are going through, it's fate. They have to go through that so that they learn from that situation. Okay, now, so what is entanglement? Okay, so entanglement is when your energy becomes intertwined with another person's energy, where it's creating a complex web of karmic connections. You're getting any form of karmic connections from that person. So for water individuals, entanglement can happen through emotional or spiritual or energetic interaction with other people. Okay, remember that you are a spiritual magnet. So that is why that you get entangled through emotions, through spiritual, through energetic interactions with other people. Okay, so in the context of karma, entanglement can affect you as a water child by drawing them into another person's karmic cycle. So what I mean by that is that when a person is going through a karmic cycle, when they going, as I said previously, that whatever that they are going through, it's meant to happen. It's fate, because they need to learn from that. So when you involve yourself in that karmic circle, that is where you get entangled in that situation. That can lead to emotional, financial, physical burdens that unnecessarily yours to carry. Okay, because you intervened, you interfered with a karmic cycle that person is going through. So which is going to give you emotional burden, financial and also physical burdens. Okay, where you end up having to carry another person's burdens, and you don't see growth upon yourself. Instead, you're just going down, and you maybe some people even lose their jobs. Some people, where you looking at yourself like you have bad luck. You see yourself like unesichitho. You even think that someone is bewitching you, or someone is doing something to you. Someone is actually playing with you spiritually, whereas there's no one who's playing with you spiritually. There's no one who's sending any evil forces to you. There's no one who's doing any bad things to you. It's just that you tangled yourself in a situation that you were not supposed to in the first place. So whatever that person is going through now, you are entangled to that. And as a water child, it becomes 2 times. Because now you're attracting all of that. So whatever that person is supposed to feel and go through, it comes 10 times into your life. So bantwana bedlozi, it is very important to recognize and release entanglement, okay, to maintain energetic boundaries, to avoid karmic debts, okay, so that you don't get tangled in other people's karmic debts. You know, when a person is going through their own debts in life, their own punishment, let them go through it by themselves, because it's meant for it to happen, because they need to learn from that situation. As much as, let us just say it, your partner, as painful as it is, as harsh it may seem, but sometimes you can give, but sometimes you can see that by me giving and giving, it's the more I'm feeling drained. That is happening because it's a sign to show you that you need to step back. Okay, when you are trying to assist someone and you're seeing progress, and you're assisting me and you're seeing progress and you're assisting, it means it's meant to happen that you assist that person. It may not be a karmic situation, but whereas it's just a normal, universal thing that is happening to this person, and you are there to guide and assist in many ways, and then you're seeing growth. But in a situation where you're seeing yourself that you're constantly trying to give assistance, and the more you try to give assistance, it's the more you're seeing yourself falling down. It's the more you're seeing yourself, losing a lot of things, losing yourself for that matter. So you need to know that is a pure sign to show you that you need to back off. This is not your fight. This is not something that you need to involve yourself with, but step aside from a distance and let nature work through this person, in a natural way, because you cannot think that you can just overcome some other things. Some things are meant to work on itself naturally. Okay, so you need to understand, bantwana bendlozi, that as a spiritually gifted person, you must always use your gift, use yourself, use your energies, use your spirits, use the power that has been given to you for the ability to navigate through karma, okay, and entanglement. Because in doing that also, you need to learn to protect your own energy. Okay, you need to protect your energy at all times, because if ever that is more affected, then you spiritually not going to grow. Having been that, even individually, you're not going to grow. Okay, so it's very important to always take care of yourself and the environment around you. Remember one thing, that it may not be karmic situation where you get entangled in. Sometimes it can be emotional, or energetic, okay, where you find yourself being entangled in situations like that. And remember one thing, that karma is a universal principle. Okay, it can affect anyone, including yourself. Remember that you being a water child, it does not mean that you are a saint. There are things that you went through in life. There are mistakes that you went through. There are people you've made to cry in life. Okay, so remember one thing, that you are going yourself also are going to go through a karmic situation. Okay, where you're going to have to deal with your own karma. So you need to understand that in some situations you cannot also try and get yourself off yourself out of karma. It's the universe, it's fate, it's meant to happen for you to learn your lesson as well. It's not only about other people's karmic situation, but also yourself as well. So I want people to understand that you yourself, everyone, karma is just it's a universal principle. It's something that will teach everyone in this universe, so you will be affected by that as well. So it's important to understand and recognize and release yourself from entanglement. Okay, when I'm talking about, it's not only karma entanglements that you get, I'm talking about emotional entanglement as well, whereby you see yourself, okay, let's say you are in a crowded place, okay, suddenly you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious without knowing why. You suddenly, there's a mood change. Okay, this is an example of emotional entanglement, where you picked up someone else's emotion. It may be one or two people or three or more, but you suddenly absorbed other people's emotions. Maybe it's a sick person, maybe it's a person who's carrying too much of burdens, maybe it's a person who's just doing wrong in life. Okay, maybe it's a person who's going through the most horrific or sad things in their lives, and you actually absorbing that. That is emotional entanglement. Okay, and also when I'm talking about energetic entanglement, where picture yourself, maybe you're feeling drained and exhausted after interacting with someone or people. Okay, even if it's just a conversation, it's just a normal conversation where you met someone, you just you spoke with that person, and then then suddenly you absorb that person's energy. Okay, you suddenly feel exhausted, you feel drained, you feel too drained, that those flu symptoms, like you're starting to get flu symptoms, you're feeling drained, you're feeling like you could sleep now, you don't want to talk, and all of that is an energetic entanglement. Okay, because you absorbed it from someone's energy. So that is why it's important that when you're going through all of those emotional entanglement or energetic entanglement, you need to pay attention to your emotions. Okay, you need to listen to your intuition and notice when you're feeling emotional or you're not active or all of those things that I've explained. You need to ask yourself, am I truly going through an emotional process, or it's something that I've picked up from somebody else? So you need to listen to your intuition. You need to listen to your emotions so that you can be able to do the right thing, to do the right step, so that you can detangle yourself from that. So at the same time, also you need to learn, because remember, we are people, we are individuals. We cannot live in our own worlds. We don't go out, we don't talk to people, we don't interact with other people. We will interact with other people, we will stay with other people, but it's just that you need to learn to set energetic boundaries. Okay, you need to listen to your spirit, listen to your spirit on how do I prevent all of this from being a victim of entanglement and karmic cycles of other people. So you need to know, you have to do some rituals, you have to do some things that gonna make you to be protective. You have to do a protective shield among yourself. Okay, we're talking about doing certain things to create that protective shield around yourself. And there are other physical gestures that you can use. Your spirit will tell you, because they know more on how to block some other outside energetic influences that might cause harm into you. Because sometimes they might tell you that, okay, when you're going through this, maybe when you're sitting down, just suddenly cross your legs. Okay, they might tell you that just fold your arms. They might tell you that maybe do a fist on your hand. They might give you whatever thing, a gesture to show you that this is what you need to do in order to protect yourself from outside sources. Because when it's happening in the very same time, as a water child, you feel it at the very same time, especially when it comes to energetic entanglement, okay? Because for emotional entanglement, it's mostly something you'll feel when you're at home, then you suddenly feel drained. But when it's energetic entanglement, it's something you feel instantly when you are with that person. So there will be some things that's going to send boundaries and going to give you a protective shield as well. And there's also meditation techniques that you can use to actually shield yourself and protect yourself as well. So there's quite a lot of things that can assist you in all of this, because there's also energetic clearing as well, where you need to learn on how do you clear entanglements and a lot, but we will discuss that further. Okay, so let's look at the signs. What are the signs of entanglement, where you suddenly are entangled in other people's karma? Okay, what would be the sign? How would you see that you actually going through an entanglement? Because most people won't even know that, hey man, okay, I didn't know that I was actually going through this. Okay, so this is mostly something, because that is why some of the time when you going through things and you're going to Pasha, you seeking clarity, you going there and there, you seeking and answers from your ancestors, but sometimes you don't get the answer. Okay, and most of the time you Pasha and you say, I don't even know what to do anymore. I've tried every route, I've tried everything, I've tried each and everything I could think of to actually connect with my spirits. It might be the reason that you are going through all of that disconnection with your ancestors is because you are entangled in someone else's karma. Okay, you need to release yourself out of that first, so that you can get the reconnection with your ancestors. Because some of the time they will show you, when you have that feeling like maybe it's your partner, maybe it's your sibling or your best friend, they're going through a situation and you constantly giving assistance, financial assistance, and any other assistance that you're giving. But then there'll be that voice that's going to say, just stop for now, and focus on yourself. And then you'll ignore that and you feel like my partner or my friend or my brother or my sister is going to feel like I'm not being helpful, I'm being mean, I'm not supportive, but they will always give you that sign. That voice, that inner voice will from time to time tell you that you need to step back. You need to stop doing what you're doing right now and step back and focus on yourself and focus on actually fixing yourself, because this is not supposed to happen like this in your life. And we just ignore that. Okay? Your intuition does tell you that you just step back, and then you constantly give, yet you can see you're drained. Other people you will help, and then you can see there's growth in their life. But now you're suddenly asking yourself, but why am I going through this? Because whatever that they went through, it now stuck with you. Okay, so what are the signs that you're going through a karma entanglement? We're talking about emotional signs, we're going to talk about financial signs, we're going to talk about physical signs at the same time. So when we're talking about emotional signs, I'm talking about feeling drained, okay, or exhausted after interaction with other people, or after you have been, giving help constantly and forever saying, don't do that, and all of the, sometimes telling a person, stop doing that, and then suddenly you feel drained, like, hey, I'm so exhausted from saying this all the time, I'm so exhausted from all of this and selling this, and you experiencing anxiety or stress without a clear reason. You're now drained, you're now financially we're still in the emotions. You're now stressed, your anxiety is hitting without any reasons. Okay, you don't even understand why. You are pasla, you asking abantu abadala why. You even come to a point with, maybe I think it's my water spirits that are active, that is why they are making me to be like this. Whereas it's not your water spirits that are active. You're going through a karmic situation. Okay, it's an emotional sign that you're going through that, and then you're feeling emotionally sensitive suddenly. You are too sensitive in a lot of things. That is a sign also that you're going through a karmic entanglement. And when we're talking about financial signs, experiencing financial difficulties, where you see yourself, you're now in debt without a clear reason, okay? You can see now, oh man, I was managing my finances in a good way, but now why am I suddenly in debt? Why so much of Omashonisa? Why so much of all of these things? And now the banks, everyone else, the loan sharks, everyone is on your shoulders, okay? You don't even understand, how did you get to that situation? How did you even get to that point? How did it even start? That's a karmic entanglement, okay? Where you're feeling stuck and blocked in financial pursuits, where you're trying so hard, you're trying some business ideas, you're trying some things, you even go to bank requesting for a loan, nothing comes through, nothing goes through, nothing ever happens. It's like when it comes to your financial things, everything is just blocked. Okay, you're having difficulties in managing your finances as well, trying to make financial decisions. You can't take decisive decisions. Okay, you suddenly don't understand what is happening. Why am I having all of these financial difficulties? Why is it that I'm suddenly struggling to manage my finances? You have money today, in the morning, by 12 o'clock midday, that money is no longer there. You don't even know what you did to that money. You don't even understand how. Or sometimes you had money in your bank account, and suddenly maybe you had about 1,000 rands. And then suddenly you see there's 200 rand gone from the 1,000 rand. You're trying to trace where did it go, and then maybe you forever see some fees and all of those things, or see a subscription that you don't even know about. You're asking yourself, why is this happening to me? That is a karmic entanglement, Mntwana Wedlozi. And also another thing where you seeing physical signs, okay, experiencing physical pain or discomfort without a clear reason. Sometimes when you feel a pain, maybe a shoulder, maybe suddenly your hand is painful, maybe your foot is painful, or your ankle, or your elbow, or your knee, or you have a headache, and all of those things, and you suddenly don't understand why. You're going through all of those emotional signs, you're going through all of those financial signs, now you're going through the physical signs as well. Okay, you go to doctors, you try and get some clarity as to why is this happening, but you don't get a clear reason. Okay, you're feeling fatigue all of the time, you're tired, you're drained, you even have tea bags, okay, in your eyes, because you're forever drained, you're forever in a situation whereby you're trying to get yourself out of it, but you're unable to get yourself out of it, and you're having difficulties in sleeping. Okay, you're experiencing insomnia whereby you can't sleep, you can't do anything. You can be awake the entire night. Imagine you being awake the entire night, and the entire day, the following day, you will be exhausted. You're living a life of like you just a tool, a dummy. When you're taking a dummy, you're controlling how it should move the hand. You feel like, no, this is just not me. Yes, it's not you, because it's something that you are not supposed to go through. Okay, so now you need to explore your thoughts, your emotions, your experiences, to identify patterns or areas for improvement, Mntwana Wedlozi, to actually recognize in entanglement. Okay, pay attention to patterns. Okay, whatever that is happening in your life, it will always be a pattern if it's a karmic entanglement. So notice patterns in your emotions, your finances, and your physical health. Okay, that may indicate entanglement. Okay, and then you need to trust your intuition. If you feel something is off or not quite right, then trust your intuition and explore further. Don't just sit down. Okay, if that voice is saying this is not right, step back. This is not supposed to happen like that. That you need to step back and listen to your intuition, and then find ways to explore further on how do you detangle yourself from all of that, and what is it that you need to do to take care of yourself. Okay, now Mntwana Wedlozi, let's look at strategies for detangling yourself on karmic situations. Okay. Remember one thing, that strategies will not be the same for each and every person, each and every individual, because remember, our gifts are not the same. So hence how we absorb energies is would not be the same. And also it will not be the same as well, because I wouldn't know, or anybody else wouldn't know your situation, how deep you are entangled. Some people are entangled in just a minor situation. Some people are entangled in quite a deep situation where they end up losing their jobs, they end up losing their houses, their assets, houses, cars, and a lot. They lose relationships, they lose a lot of things because of financial struggles and quite a lot of things in their life. So it depends how deep you have been entangled to use the right strategy in order for you to free yourself. So if it's just something that is minor, something that is minor, it's something that you can see that if I step back from this person, I can see personal growth in myself. If I step back from this person, I can see that there is financial growth. You see, so that's something that is a bit minor. That's something that you can manage by yourself, where you can manage through meditation, you can manage through self-cleansing. You can do meditation whereby you're setting boundaries, you're doing a protective shield around yourself through meditation. Okay, you can also do that through cleansing. Use some certain things, some elements to cleanse yourself in releasing yourself from that. Okay, and you also can do meditation such as you cutting cords, you cutting ties. Okay, you're releasing energetic attachment, whereby there's quite a lot of strategies as well to do cord cutting meditation. Some would use a string, okay, whereby they can use certain incense stick and sage. They can use candles, okay, and light a fire and maybe have a string. Some would use a rope. So it really depends which will resonate with you more. And then you will tie a knot with that rope or a string or whatever that you feel that resonates with you, and you go and burn it in the fire. Okay, or you can release, you can untie that cord. It's quite a lot of things that you can go through. You just need to ask for assistance on how to go about doing all of those kind of meditation, because remember, there are meditation that needs guidance. Okay, because if you do it the wrong way, it's not going to work for you. So you need some guidance. You need to seek from guidance from people who are energy healers, okay, who are spiritual healers, who are into meditation. Will be able to guide you on the right way on how to do all of these meditation processes, rituals, and everything. Energy shielding through meditation, cord cutting, spiritual releasing and shielding, energy shielding and releasing. You need a guide. If it be that you will be a person who will fail to do that by yourself. Okay, so it's always important to seek for advice. Because there's quite a lot of meditation techniques in doing releasing yourself in entanglement, but that you just have to know that you're doing it the right way. So firstly, it will be meditation and everything, if it's just something that is minor, okay, in whatever entanglement that you is, because sometimes even if it goes deeper, you will need a guidance on that. Okay, and also you need to do let's go deeper now. If it's a deep entanglement, if it's something that, as I've explained, that you've lost so much and all of that, okay, if it's too deep, you are in too deep into the situation, then you need to seek for spiritual interference. You need to speak to a mentor. You need to seek for spiritual engagement with somebody else who will be able to assist you. Okay, and when it comes to these karmic entanglement, you need someone who's an energy healer. Okay, who's able to work on energies, and you will be able to release all of those energies that you've encountered, to release all of that burden that you have taken. Okay, so you need to pay attention that when you're seeking for spiritual guidance, or when you're seeking for a way forward in terms of whatever situation that you are going through, be careful, Bantwana Bedlozi, where do you go in order to get help? Okay, because sometimes you might go to someone who's a healer but who's not as an energy healer. Okay, who's just maybe a herbalist. They only work with herbs. They don't go deeper into spirituality. They're good at herbs. They can give you the right tool, herbs to use in a certain situation. But maybe you're going through a spiritual attack, abatagati, and all of those things, generational curses and everything. They're good with that in terms of using herbs. But when you're looking for releasing and detangling yourself from a karmic situation whereby you are entangled in someone else's karma, you need someone who's an energy healer, okay, who is able to work with energy. Okay, because they know the skills, they know the tools, they know the strategies to use in assistance of releasing your energy in any energetic blockages. Okay, so it's important when you are in too deep, you go and seek intervention from an energy healer who will be able to assist you. They will check how deep you are, then they will know which strategies to use on you. Perhaps it must be energy healing, maybe it should be a sea meditation where you're doing a spiritual cleansing. It will depend on how deep you are. Then they'll be able to know the right thing to do on you. So when you're in too deep, I would advise go and seek for a spiritual intervention from someone who can mentor you, someone who can assist you firstly in releasing everything and mentor you further on how do you go about, making sure that you don't get involved in these kind of things some other time. Okay, and also set boundaries, bantwana bedlozi, healthy boundaries upon yourself. Set limits. Okay, set limits that you now see the kind of people or the kind of crowd or the kind of places that you go to that end up you being entangled in some of energies. Okay, or it might be physical, it might be energetic, it might be any other way, but you need to understand how those things manifest in your life. So you need to set boundaries and maybe doing away with those places and try and limit your time with these people. Should it be that it's someone who's your partner, it's someone who's your sibling, it's someone who's your best friend, then just step back a bit, let them go through whatever that they are going through. After you've done your own releasing, let them go through what they are going through and don't intervene in the process of nature. Okay, whatever that is happening in their lives, don't intervene. Let nature take its course in their lives so that they can learn from whatever experiences that they're going through, so that you don't get attached to that situation. But it does not mean leave them, don't pay attention to them. It's just that pull back from giving advices, pull back from giving assistance, because at the end of the days, all your assistance and advices are going in vain because that person is not listening to you. Hence, you are now entangled to their karmic circle, because now they're constantly going on the wrong path, yet you are showing them the right path that they're not following your path. So sometimes you just have to step back, love them from a distance, so that you can be able to work on yourself. Prioritize self-care. It's very important to prioritize self-care, because at the end of the day, this is your own life. This is your own energy that you need to shield and protect at all time. So if your energy is somehow disturbed, then it's going to cause a lot of friction in your life. Okay, so it's very important to prioritize self-care. I'm trying to think, what is it that maybe I have forgotten. Okay, in releasing attachment as well, you can do a self-cleansing. Even if it's deep, you can seek for herbs, you can seek for meditation tools, you can seek for other things that can assist you in your cleansing process, in your energy releasing processes as well. It's something that you can also do by yourself. Learn to let go through a mentor. as well. And then you also have to learn some techniques of energy clearing, like smudging, okay? Releasing the energetic blockages using sage, using incense sticks, using nature elements such as seawater, sea sand, seashells, and other things that you can do. You can use crystals, you can use rocks, you can use pebble stones from the sea or from the rivers. You can use a lot of things in actually in assistance in releasing all of those things. But you need to identify the patterns first in order for you to actually use the right strategy in assisting yourself. Okay, so now you've set your boundaries, you've done everything, and how do you now maintain those energetic boundaries? Okay, how do you now avoid being entangled in the near future? Okay, you need to stick to your boundaries. You need to prioritize self-care, as I said, healthy communication tools. If something that you can see that I'm trying to communicate with this person, but still, and you're not getting through, then just avoid such conversations, okay? Avoid giving those advices so that you can maintain a healthy relationship with that person, okay? Because at the end of the day, you can't forever be giving, talking. It's like you're talking to a dead wall, then won't move, that won't do anything. So for your own health, for your own mentality, just avoid such conversations, communications, and mostly prioritize your self-care. Do meditation most of the time, guided meditation, connect with nature. And I encourage you that once you've gone through that, try as a water child, visit nature sources more frequently, where you can learn to ground yourself and center yourself and center your spirits. Okay, it is very important that you mostly do all of those things, because you need to bring back that connection that you had with your spirits. Remember one thing: when you want to ground yourself, when you want to fully connect, when you're in these nature places, for you to be able to connect with nature, take off your shoes. Okay, walk barefoot, take off your shoes, you feel the ground, feel the coldness of the ground, feel the grass, feel the sand, if it's sandy, the rocks and everything. You need to connect with nature in order for you to absorb everything that nature can give you. Okay, remember that whatever that has been released, you need to absorb it back. So you need to go to nature places, you need to go to the waters, you need to go to the mountains, connect with the places so that you can absorb the energies. Okay, feel your power back again, feel everything coming back again in your life. Feel that you are now seeing growth in terms of your finances, you're now seeing growth in terms of yourself. Okay, and then what do you do moving on? You need to connect with your water spirits. Okay, you need to connect more so that they can give you the wisdom on how to protect yourself from any other thing. Okay, you need to learn on how to listen to your intuition. This is a time where you need to seek guidance, you need to seek wisdom, you need to seek clarity in a lot of things, because whatever that you indulged, you have to make sure that it does not happen again. So you work on connecting with your spirits. If it's a sea spirits, you visit the sea. If it's the lakes, the waterfalls, the rivers and everything, you go there, you connect with your spirits the way they want you to connect, and thereafter trust your intuition, listen to your inner wisdom. Okay, that is very, very important, so that you don't get stuck in all of those things, because at the end of the day, that was not a burden for you to carry in the first place. Before I close off, I would like to add this on the video, because there's quite a lot of people who are interested in going into our retreats, and the most recent one, it's full, and they've been asking, a lot of people have been asking if they can join. Okay, let me just put it this way. We have 2 retreats in June, Bantwana Bedlozi. Should it be that you are interested in joining any of the ones in June, you feel free to ask. We do have the beginning, in the beginning of June. We also have, 3 retreats. Sorry, it's 3. It's the beginning, mid-June, and end of June. And as well in July, we have beginning, mid, and end. And also in August. Okay, so you must let us know when you're sending an email or when you're sending through our WhatsApp which retreat would you like to be part of. And remember that I only reserve space only to the people who were able to make a booking and reserve their space. That is why now the one that people wanted to join, it's full. As I said on my previous video, that I only take in a certain number of individuals because I want to give everyone my full attention. Okay, because there's also there's other energy healing and individual energy healing that takes place during the retreat. So I need to give everyone my full attention. Okay, so yes, should it be that you are interested, we still have in days 3 in June. One is full, there's still another one, and there's still the third one. And as well in July we have 3 sets of retreats, and as well in August as well. Then we closing off the retreats because this is mainly to assist the people the water children who are in a phase where they're not understanding much about the water spirits, or it is that they want to upgrow, uplift, transform, upgrade their wisdom and knowledge in terms of their spirits so that they understand it more. It's not only for people who are still in struggling, but also for people who would like to explore more about their gift and to like to explore more and know more about their spirits and how they operate in a lot of things. There's a lot that goes through the retreats. It's quite a beautiful experience, but yeah, it be that you want to be part of the retreat, just let me know through sending me an email or sending the WhatsApp in the WhatsApp number that is provided on the screen and also on my bio. Okay, so yeah, I think I've said it all. So before I close out, I would love to leave you with this. Don't interfere lightly with other people's karma. If someone won't listen, no matter how hard you try to convince them, it's fate. When a person insists on walking the wrong path, it means they must walk it. Some hardships are destined to be endured. Let things unfold as they will. Let the natural flow, okay? Don't force outcomes. Sometimes all you can do is stand aside. When you step into someone's karma, you abandon your own good luck. You might help them through a crisis only to end up carrying their emotional baggage. No matter whose karma you interfere with, you will bear the consequences too.